Okay, what's going on? Welcome back, everybody. If you are in here, if you are watching, thank you very much. If this is a replay that you are watching, then thank you very much. Whether this is on YouTube or Facebook or you're listening to the podcast, then thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, it's Black Friday again. So, this is Black on Black. My name is Chris Randle, and this is I'm not gonna freestyle, but thanks for watching. This is information for Black people, about Black people. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for telling somebody. Before we get started, I started an organization in 2015. This very organization, Grow, Strength, and Thrive. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, then make sure you stay connected with us. Follow us on Instagram at Grow, Strength, and Thrive. You'll be able to get more videos. You'll be able to get more information, extra information, all that good stuff. So make sure you check us out on Instagram, again, at Grow, Strength, and Thrive. And always continue to check back with us on the website, gstnow.org. That explains, of course, the entire organization. You'll be able to see the things that we're working on, the things that are coming soon, and you can get the full scope of what GST is, about. Like I said, I started in 2015, or that's when I got the idea. I'll say that, and I wanted to kick it off and go, real far and really bring it to life. Back then, I was a bit discouraged because I didn't get a whole lot of, feedback. But what I've come to find out in my life is I can be early with things. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It's just that, sometimes that's prophetic. So that's what that is. So anyway, that is that. Also on the website, you'll be able to get links to the podcast network. And the podcast network is a lot of the video content in audio form, again, with extra information, extra things that you can use to help advance yourself as an African American, as well as somebody else. So make sure you go to the website and check that out. You can get links to the podcast network on Anchor, Spotify, and Pocketcasts right now. We're going to be expanding to Apple Podcasts and a whole lot of other podcast platforms as well. So keep checking back, but you can get started there if you're on Anchor, Pocketcasts, or Spotify. All right, so we're going to get started. So what I think is necessary when you talk about last couple of weeks, I've been talking about equity. I've been talking about really getting Black people to a point to where we can really do some, big things. We can really start to or continue to, grow, strengthen, and thrive within ourselves, with each other, and our communities. And one of those things is with each other. So if right off the bat, if you are not linking up with another Black person in some way, shape, or form, I would encourage you to do that. Whether that is your friends, whether that's your family, whether that's somebody, if you're older, it's somebody younger than you. It could be somebody in your same sphere of influence, same age, whatever. If you're not doing that, please do that. Whatever information you have, use to advance yourself. Make sure you advance somebody else with the same information, something that they don't know that they need to know. Then do that. Let them know whatever it is that you know. If you're learning about stocks, if you're learning about real estate, if you're learning about how to save money, if you're learning about Forex, if you going to school, if you are in a trade, whatever, you getting ready to cut hair, you getting ready, whatever you're getting ready to do, or whatever you're doing, help somebody else to do the same thing. If it advances you, then help give that information to somebody else so it can advance them as well. So that's kind of the first thing, as far as what I believe we should be doing continuously. Whatever it is that you're learning, teach somebody else, show somebody else. So link up with somebody else. So before we get into the meat, and I'm gonna try to keep this at 30 minutes. So with that being said, if you come in at the end, or I'm getting ready to go off and you're like, oh, I feel like you're going to say something else, that's because I will keep going. So again, I bring up the podcast network again. Go subscribe to the podcast network, because the extended form of this, after I go off here, is on the podcast. So make sure you link up and subscribe on the podcast. I'll bring that back up again later. So again, we're talking about equity, and as I continue to talk about equity, I think about, that's money, value, growing your net worth, things like that. So when you talk about equity, I think you got to start with what is it that the average, in my opinion, and you can tell me different. I can't see your comments, but still comment, and I will try to see now. I need a countdown. Anyway, sorry. What's the information that the average Black person does not know? That is income. What are the 7 streams of income? If the statistic is the average Black person does not, or if the statistic is, that the average wealthy person has 7 streams of income, then I think right off the bat, we got to be thinking about, what are those streams of income? We only really know about, at large, one stream, which is earned income. That's the income you get from your job. You go to work, then you get paid. So if there are other streams of income, what are those? Well, without going into huge detail about what those are, I'll just give them to you. And then you can go and research and find out for yourself. 7 streams of income: earned income, profit income, interest income, dividend income, rental income, capital gains, and royalty. So right off the bat, I know me starting a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, to actively try to teach myself about money really, not just that we have this currency called money or dollars, and then we can, spend it on things. Kind of the extra information about how to make that grow, how to take what you have, invest it in smart ways, little by little, and then that starts to grow. And then the more you earn, or the more you're able to grow it, then it continue to invest it, and that continue to grow. So I think that's one of the biggest things as far as the Black community is concerned, that we don't know, so we continue to think about earned income. We continue to think about, okay, I have this job. Now I'm going to get a better job. And then after I get that better job, then I'm going to, work real hard at that, and then move on and get a better job. Well, you're just making more money at your one stream of income. So all of your bills, all of your livelihood, all of your worth is connected to that one source of income. And if that source of income happens, some kind of way goes away, you get fired, or you get laid off, or whatever, you can't go to work, that stream of income is boom, you're done. You are that much closer to zero. There's a quote by Warren Buffett that says, one stream of income is too close to zero. So you got to be thinking about, what are the other streams, and how can I start to slowly get my way into one stream and then another stream and then another stream and then another stream. So I can really start to get to that thing that everybody likes to talk about, which is wealth, and not just I have a lot of dollars, because dollars can go very quickly. There's another stat that says the average just American is $400 is one $400 emergency away from living paycheck to paycheck. So what that means, something that costs $400, that's an emergency, whether it's your car, whether it's your refrigerator, whether it's your whatever, plumbing, something comes along and you have to pay $400 to get that fixed or repaired or whatever. That's how close you are to living paycheck to paycheck. Once you pay that $400, you're struggling, and $400 is not a whole lot of money. We should all at least have an emergency fund. So if you don't, or if you know somebody who doesn't have an emergency fund of at least $1,000, like I said earlier, with you linking up with somebody else to help them, that is good information for yourself and for them. Hey, work to get towards, your $1,000 emergency fund. Man, that's going to take it don't matter if it's going to take a long time. Do it. $20 every check, put it into an account so you can get to $1,000. So when something happens, you won't be $400 or $500 or $800 or whatever away from living paycheck to paycheck. So that's just a small amount of information. So this is another example of some information, 7 streams of income, telling somebody what that is, and then have them or you and them learn together. Whatever the case is, it's about giving information out so we can use it to advance. That's what GST is all about. That's what Black on Black is all about. And yeah, it's just needed, so those are the 7 streams of income. So learn about those. All right. Figure those out. And don't worry about trying to get all of them at one time. Just get one and then another one and another one. You're already, 1/7 of the way there. Yeah. 1/7 of the way there, because you have earned income. You have a job. Most of us have a job. So that's one right out the gate. So use that one source of income to branch out to the other, the other forms of income as well. All right. So boom. Next thing is this is for me, but also for you. We're in an interesting time now because a lot of people, seem to be on the same page when it comes to Black people, Black lives, Black statistics, information. We're all getting information as far as Black people being marginalized, and then what to do about that, whether it's voting, whether it's money, whether it's business, whatever. How do we get out of that, this hole? How do we, rise and advance? So with that being said, I have to continuously, remind myself that I need to be patient. I need to be patient as far as how long it's going to take for this to get widespread, how long it's going to take for me personally to advance, how long it's going to take for me to get advanced and then help to advance others around me, and really be patient as far as everybody being on board, because the reality is everybody won't be on board with you. Whether they're white, whether they're Black, whether they're whoever, it seems simple for us because we're like, why isn't everybody getting it? We're just saying there are a lot of areas where, we're disproportionately affected. So why can't you see that? Yes, I'm saying Black lives matter. I'm not saying white lives don't matter or Asian lives or anything else doesn't matter. I'm just saying that Black lives. So you can get into this frustration and this fight. Why don't you get it? Why do I need to explain it again? Or why are you upset? Or yada. Be patient. Be patient. Don't try to get everybody on board at the same time. Just find somebody who gets it, link up with them, and y'all do something together. Talk when you need to talk, because we're also getting to the time where Black people we're not going to be quiet anymore. We're not going to be silent. Continue to do that. But as you do that, be patient, because being patient will allow you not to be frustrated, because it can be very frustrating when you're saying something that's well documented and also shown. I can show you evidence of these facts and everything that I'm saying, but people still won't get it, whether that's on accident because they're ignorant, or whether that's on purpose because they're stupid, or because they're ignorant, or because they're prejudiced or racist or whatever. Be patient. Be patient. Even when it comes to your family, you are actively trying to do things to raise your family, to advance your family as a Black family that you are related to. All of them won't get it. They won't see the necessity to have $1,000 emergency fund. So they won't be one emergency away from living paycheck to paycheck. They won't see the need. It won't be important to them. So again, be patient. You do it. If you know that it's important, you do it. Find somebody else who thinks your words are important and help them. Help them grow. Help them strengthen. Help them thrive. But be patient, because when we start to get impatient, then we'll start to do things that aren't in our best interest individually, and then things that aren't in our best interest collectively. So be patient. All right. Like I said before, do your work at home with your family. Talk to your family. Teach your family. That's like relatives, mom, dad, sister, brother, cousins, aunts, uncles, your family. Teach your family, because you can start a revolution at home. Teach your kids the importance of whatever, money, history. Teach your kids history. The things that they're seeing on the news, or the things that you have experienced, talk to them about that. Talk to them about why. Talk to them about where it came from. We talk a lot about let's know history so it won't repeat. We don't want history to repeat itself. And when you don't know your history, that's when things are, repeated. So an example of that is Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, 4. I think it was 4. Most people know about that. The reality is that wasn't the first Civil Rights Act regarding Black people. The first Civil Rights Act was in 1875. And if you didn't know this, it's okay. I didn't know about it either. I just learned about it yesterday. First Civil Rights Act was in 1875. It was after the war, after the Emancipation Proclamation. Abraham Lincoln was doing what he could to give Black people land, give Black people equality, so they can start to build equity. So after the Emancipation Proclamation happened, if you don't, quick history lesson, that was the ending or the abolishing of slavery, which meant we didn't have people, the country didn't have people to pick cotton, because Black people were the ones picking cotton. The headquarters for the cotton industry was in Great Britain, I believe. And America was the top producer of cotton. And we wanted to keep that going. So all of these things went into place after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, because that's also around that time. You have the abolishment of slavery. You have the end of the Civil War. You got the president, Abraham Lincoln, who was assassinated. All those things kind of happening within the same few years. Next president, Andrew Johnson, started to reverse all of the things that Abraham Lincoln had put into place and was putting into place. Okay, so that included equality, that included a bank for Black people called the Freedmen's Bank. If you don't know about the Freedmen's Bank, then look that up. So all of these things happened, and Black people started to get equality. So we had the first Civil Rights Act, which was in 1875. So after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, 1875, 8 years later, in 1883, that Civil Rights Act was deemed unconstitutional and it was revoked. It was unconstitutional to say that Black people were equal, or that we can't discriminate against them. And it had to do with the idea that, I believe, read it for yourself, that is a private matter, and that's left up to the state. Whether the state locally wants to not discriminate against Black people. So then that essentially led to Jim Crow laws, where different states had different laws about what you could or couldn't do as a Black person. You got 100 years of Jim Crow laws, and then that leads to, segregation or separate but equal. That's when all that stuff started to happen. When Civil Rights Act of 1875 happened, and then 8 years later, it was reversed. It was deemed unconstitutional. And then the idea of separate but equal, and then Jim Crow. So when you talk about 2020, us still living through and experiencing what we're experiencing now, there's a history of that. But if you don't know the history, then you won't recognize those things that are happening that are getting us closer to that. And then you, as a Black person, you don't think, things like saving your money is important. Like, all of those things are important. Even the idea of Black people as a whole, not specifically, but as a whole, not trusting the bank, not trusting the government. Well, that happened during that time. Because when that bank was, the Freedmen's Bank was created, it was for Black people. That's what they told us. That's what they sold us. Save your money so you can buy land, because now you're free. White people were put in charge of the bank. And then white people started to first of all, they set up the bank as a savings bank. All right. Now, a savings bank is just to save money, because that's what they said. We need to teach Black people how to save. Well, the idea of putting your money in a bank is to grow your money, to grow your wealth through lending, because the bank lends your money, yada, yada, yada. But that's not what this bank was. This bank was a savings bank. So it was essentially a piggy bank. So Black people put their money there and it just sat. And then the white people in charge of the bank started to realize, oh, we got a lot of money just sitting here. So we're going to use this money to advance our own wealth and to invest in other projects. We're not going to tell them. We're just going to use their money to make money for us. Well, one dude in charge of the bank used a lot of the money to invest in railroads. And at that time, railroads were not, they were losing their value, basically. But he continued to invest. And he, in today's money, the figure is something around, at first, he lost like $2 million of all of the deposits. $2 million in today's money. He continued to do things because they started opening up more branches. It was like 35 branches like in the South, I believe. And they continue to put out a newspaper to convince Black people to continue to put their money there, continue to deposit your money here at this bank, because it's safe, because you're gaining your way to land ownership. So yada yada yada. Make a long story kind of shorter. He ended up losing another almost $3 million worth of deposits. So that's about 61,000 people who had deposited lost their money. And then only a few of the people who were a part of this whole scheme were prosecuted. So that started to teach Black people that the bank is not safe, and the government is not safe, and it's not for Black people. So when you talk about history, those things trickle down. So whoever lost their money, guarantee you they told their family not to put their money in the bank, not to trust the government. So when your father tells you that, then you go, okay, boom. You already segregated. So I have proof that the government doesn't, won't do me right, because I can't even walk in the same door as you. I can't drink in the same water fountain as you. So I'll tell my kids, and then my kids will tell their kids, and then their kids will tell their kids, all the way until 2020, to where when you start talking about banks, then Black people get a little iffy. So there's so much information. That information just there came from a book that I'm reading called The Color of Money. Look it up. I'm reading the audiobook now. It's called The Color of Money. So yeah, know your history so you can teach, your people your history, so history won't repeat itself. So do your work at home with your family. Do your work at home with each other, meaning your Black family. So maybe you're not related by blood, but you're related in terms of information that's necessary for you to know and have. It's also necessary for them to know and have. All right. So do you work at home with your family? Do you work at home with your Black family? What time? Where are we at? 30 minutes. Oh. See, I had so much more. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I was supposed to be off in 30 minutes, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna extend it. All right. So with all that being said, like I said, I want GST to be a source of information that you can have. So if you are a Black person and you have a Black business, if you know a Black person with a Black business, look into the Comerica Bank Black Capital Access Program. Comerica Bank has partnered with the National Business League to donate, I believe the figure is $1 million over the next 4 years to Black businesses. The link, so you can read up on this, is on our, GST Facebook group. So if you're not a part of the GST Facebook group, then find it on Facebook and then request your way in, and you can be accepted, and then you can see this link. So it's like facebook.com/groups/GST now, I believe. But it's posted there, and I'll post it on my Facebook page, my personal page, today. All right. So yes. So you can get information on this, and then give somebody else information who has a Black business. And now that you know about this, continue to ask them and lean into this. Find them on Instagram, Comerica Bank. Find them on Twitter, and roll up in their DMs. Hey, what's going on with this? What are we doing with this? When is this going to be available? It's starting, from what I hear, according to this page, in their market, where Comerica Bank is like Arizona and Texas. Matter of fact, let me get you the exact. So over the next 3 months, this is going to happen, and it's going to reach Comerica's 5 primary markets: Arizona, California, Florida, Michigan, and Texas. Okay. And then the program will become available in all 50 states in 2021. So if that's what they said, then boom, let's hold them to their word. Yo, Comerica, what's going on? What you got? When does this start? Where's the application? Blah, 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 blah. Keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. Because another thing that Black people have to do is we got to take people at their word, and we got to put pressure on them. You know, sometimes peer pressure is good. So this is one of those times, you know, this is one of those times where you say, hey, the thing that you said, what's up with that? You know, I have a Black business. So what do I need to do? You know, and if you don't have a Black business, then, you know, plan on it. I talked about that, you know, last 2 weeks, Black business, and how it's important that Black people have need-based businesses, because those are the things, they're not recession proof, but they're recession resistant, you know? So anyway, that's the Black Access Program. Okay. Next thing, work to become a homeowner. Whatever, dang it, man. All right. I got 34 minutes. Ooh. I kind of want to jump off because 30 minutes is long. It is long. It is long. If you're watching and you think it's long, comment so I can see. Like right now, right in the comments, yo, it's long. Cut it off. And then I'll cut it off. I'm gonna keep talking, and then you have to get subscribe and listen on the podcast. But I want to be mindful of the 30 minutes. So if I'm going too long, let me know. If I'm not, then let me know to keep going. See, I don't know. I think I will. I think I'm gonna cut it off because I think I only have a couple people watching. That's all good though, because you can see the replay. So let me check here, see what's going on, and to see what. See, one comment. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna jump off. So if you're watching right now on Facebook, then see, I got another person who joined up. Okay, so here's the thing. Candace Harvey, I apologize. I'm so sorry. You came in at the end. This can be replayed. It'll be on the Grow, Strength, and Thrive Facebook page. So make sure you go check that out. Facebook.com. I believe it's /groups/GST now. But you can search Grow, Strength, and Thrive, and then you'll be able to see the Facebook page. So join up in the Facebook page, and then you can see the replay. Those of you who are still watching this video, once again, because I'm about to cut it off, I'm gonna keep talking. That's why you gotta join the GST Podcast Network. But follow us on Instagram at Grow, Strength, and Thrive. So like I said, you can get other videos and other bits of information there. Also follow us or go check us out online at gstnow.org. You can read about what GST is, what we're planning, and see the things that are coming up that I'm just excited about. I want to help Black people grow, strength, and thrive. I want to help Black people advance. So yes, go check that out. Also, to hear the rest of this, go and subscribe to the podcast network, GST Podcast Network. Right now we're on Anchor, Spotify, and Pocketcasts. So Anchor's free. You can just go there and just listen to the episodes, anchor.fm/GST now. So yeah, because I'm only doing 30 minutes on Black Friday. But you can hear the rest of Black on Black on the podcast. All right. So yes, if you came in at the end, I'm so sorry. But go check out the podcast network because you can hear the full, you can hear all of the information. All right. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate you guys for listening and watching here on the video podcast, and I'll keep it going with you people listening on the audio podcast. All right. So peace. Next Friday, Black Friday, I'll be back again. Black on Black.